Hey y'all, I'm back with my May 2026 reading wrap up, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Books with Kimberly. Don't forget to like, comment, share my channel, and subscribe. Y'all, I am so excited to be back and to tell y'all about the 6 books I read in the month of May. I know it's been a minute since I've given you a wrap up, but I am here to catch myself up. So in the month of May, I read 6 books. 1 was a physical book, 2 were audiobooks, and 3 were ebooks. So let's get right into it. In my April wrap up and my May TBR video, I spoke about reading Truce of the Matter by Charity Shanae. I gave this book 4.5 stars, which is a 4-star for me. I really enjoyed it. The main characters are Rex and Truce, and the 2 of them have a beautiful love story. They knew each other in high school, where one of them did, but the 2 of them just came together in such a pertinent time for Truce. Her family is going through a very tough time, and Rex is there to just bring love and support into her life. And the way the 2 of them grow their relationship is so beautiful. I love this book. It gave me all the romantic feels. The next book I read was The Art of Loving You by Natasha Bishop. This is a part of her Forever Falling series. The first book in the series was only for 1 week, which I read a few years ago. I will say that these 2 books are very different. It's the same friend group. The last book, there was a big wedding, and we had 2 of the friends who got together and only for 1 week. And in this book, we have Micah and Danny, who are both a part of this friend group. And the 2 of them are coming together because they both recently lost their mentor. And in her will, she had this whole plan for them to come together and honor her in a special way. So the 2 of them are reminiscing on the old days. They're working together in this scavenger hunt to find out more about their mentor and also honor her with a celebration at the end of it. And so the 2 of them are really getting to know each other, building their friendship, because when the book first starts, the 2 of them have been ignoring each other. They had some run-ins in the past. I wouldn't really call this book second chance romance because I think the 2 kind of hooked up in the past, but they never were able to get a relationship together, which is why when the book starts, Danny is like, we done been there, done that, we done tried it, it did not work, I'm not going back there. So the whole book, she is dead set on like not having any kind of relationship or friendship with Micah. But as the 2 of them work together, putting this celebration together for their mentor, that friendship starts to build. Now, because I am a romance girly, I did want things to move a lot faster. But when I tell y'all this is slow burn, it took a large portion of the book just to get the 2 of them to start really acting like friends. And it wasn't really on Micah's end, it was on Danny's. And so you do get the romance because he is very open with his feelings. She is a lot more hesitant to go there with him. So it's very slow burn. But I do like that both characters have their own family issues going on, and they have their own internal issues that through the letters from their mentor, through talking to each other and encouraging each other, they start to really work on individually, which makes them better as friends. And you know, when the romance happens, it happens. I will say the slow burn paid off, but I am docking 0.25 just because I wish it would have been sped up a little bit more. But I understand what the author was doing. This book is not as spicy. It's only for 1 week. I went back in my notes, and my critique for only for 1 week was that there was not enough romance and storyline, and that there was too much spice. And I feel like this book is the opposite, where there wasn't a lot of spice, which I'm not complaining about that. But I do think that the romance still needed to be more centered. I've been watching Love Island, so it was giving Friendship Island and not Love Island. But I do think this is a great book. I do recommend you read it, but there is a trigger warning for grieving loved ones, and also it is a slow burn romance. So I'm giving this book 4.75 stars, which is 4 stars. The next book is Say So by BB Reid. Ever since I read In the Gray by BB Reid, I've been wanting to read more in her catalog and to find out if she always writes crazy things. And yes, This book was another crazy story. Basically, it is about two friends who are very codependent on each other. And one of the friends gets a crush on this mob boss. One day, she has to pay a debt for her brother, and it becomes this whole relationship of convenience thing happening, and the friend is trying to get her back, and he thinks that he can just take this girl, run off into the sunset with her. But no, her best friend is not one to be played with. She is taking matters into her own hands to get her best friend back. So we have the main character, Kobe, who is in love with Ocean, and her best friend, Hunter, is on the hunt to get her best friend back. I will say, which this may be a spoiler, so spoiler alerts, this book was given Why Choose, and Ocean starts to crush on both of the women. And I will say that's really why I'm giving it 3.5 stars, which is only 3 stars for me. It's because Ocean was really getting on my nerves. Like, he was trying to have his cake and eat it too, but he was doing it in a secretive way when he really didn't have to do that. Like, you didn't have to be running off with Hunter and then going back home to Kobe, where you could have just communicated what your plans were and told everybody. He was very stubborn. It was to the point where I'm like, he don't deserve to be living out this fantasy. But I still think the book was good. It was action-packed. Overall, what really kept me from rating this book higher is that A, Ocean was doing the most. B, I feel like the story did drag a lot. And C, there was just a lot going on because he's the head of the mafia. He has issues with his father. Then you have the two friends who were feuding, not feuding. Then the relationships. Then, like, I just needed everybody in one room to talk it out. And that was being dragged out and delayed from happening. I'm giving this book 3 stars, 3.5 rating. My next book that took me a while to finish, but it was so worth it, is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This is dystopian science fiction. Y'all, I ate this book up. I loved it so much. It is about the main character, Darrow. Earth was crumbling in shambles, and so what they did was move their communities to other planets. And one of the planets they are on is Mars. They have different color classes. In the red class, they are in charge of mining for oxygen in order to make Mars livable for everyone else. And so you have the royal class, which are the golds, and then you have all the classes underneath. But red are the bottom of the bottom, and they are the reason that these planets are functioning. There are a lot of lies happening. This book had a lot going on. It is jam-packed with action. This is just the start. This is a series of, I believe, like 4 books. The first book was very action-packed, and it's not going to drag the story out. It's one piece of it, but this one piece of it was so good and action-packed. And I'm like, this is what I'm looking for when I read science fiction and fantasy. Let's not drag out these plot lines. Let the first book be about one part of the plan and just have it action-filled, character-driven, make it really good, and then we move on to the next part of the plans in the next book. So I love where this is going. I cannot wait to get into the second book. This is definitely a 5-star read for me. May even be one of those 6-star reads because I just loved it so much. The last 2 books that I read in the month of May are a part of the An Ember in the Ashes series by Sabaa Tahir. Ember in the Ashes series is about the Martial Empire that is really oppressing the lower classes, which are the scholars. And so the main character is Leia, who is trying to find her brother, but also take down the Martial Empire. And then we have Elias, who is one of the mass part of this Martial Empire. And he does not feel good about his role in this society and starts to help Leia out. Book 2 is A Torch Against the Night. So in book 2, his best friend Helene is also there trying to take him and Leia down. So this book was really good. I didn't like it as much as the first book, so I'm only giving it 4.5 stars. Book 3 is A Sky Beyond the Storm. A big sacrifice is made by Elias, and so this is a different storyline. The book kind of takes a shift here, and also I feel like the 3 main characters, they all had different journeys, and so the story is going from this plot line to that plot line to that plot line, and the story didn't really get interesting to me until everybody was in the same vicinity and was working towards the same goal, same battle. And that's when the story really picked up for me. So I didn't like this one as much, and it was giving filler story anyway. This series probably should have just been a trilogy. So I'm giving book 3 3 stars. Y'all, that's it for my May 2026 reading wrap up. Get down in the comments and let me know what books you are reading this summer. And y'all, thank you for tuning in to a Books with Kimberly video.